all of a sudden, Kanye West finds out that he's being used by politicians when he means Donald Trump. We back, Goodfellas Sports TV. One time for the one time. I wanted to get to this last night, couldn't get to it. Basically, man, they stopped paying Kanye West is what I believe. All right. The bag stopped coming in. That's all that was, man. Nobody from Chicago, with the roots he got to the inner city of Chicago and that knows his worth, that was so enlightened and so woke when he first came out. You feel what I'm saying? That, it's going to change up and flip up and start believing in politicians, knowing, being from the Midwest, knowing how politicians is, knowing how this stuff works, being close to Barack Obama, him calling you a jackass. All this stuff that's been around Kanye West, him being around Jay-Z, one of the woke persons that in the music industry, and all of a sudden he flips the script. All right, it was apparent when you seen Jim Brown there with Donald Trump. It was apparent when you seen Ray Lewis there with Donald Trump. Steve Harvey, which is, I heard, was Donald Trump's employee. Okay, all these dudes being around him is just simply Kanye West was getting that bag. All them dudes was getting the bag from Donald Trump. How do I know? 50 Cent said that Donald Trump, I think, offered him $500,000 to sway voters to vote for Trump, to get the black voters to vote for him. And even as low down and dirty as 50 Cent could be, even that was too low for 50 Cent to sell out the culture and sell out, himself for $500,000. Okay. All those women that you got out there telling you to vote for Trump, them two black women, yeah, vote for Trump. Where they at now? They got the bag and they good. Kanye West just simply was no more payments, no more funds going to his account, no more money going into his pocket. He did what he needed to do. He was used as a distraction. And now all of a sudden he wants the black community to take him back and start, embrace him. You a fool. Just as Busta Rhymes said, FOH, fuck out of here. Ain't nobody buying it, bro. You're not about to run and wear a Make America Great hat and just and then come back and think we're going to accept you like we some desperate woman out here, or some desperate man, taking his girlfriend back or taking her man back, no matter what you do after you get done in the streets and oh, it's okay, baby, I'm gonna do better. He gonna do the same thing again. No, Kanye West is out the rotation of the black prominent people around here. We will not accept Kanye West back. At least I won't be accepting Kanye West back for nothing. He done got with them Kardashians and they didn't hit that little spoon around the cup and they didn't, mixed his brain into a blender. That ain't the Kanye West that came out. We all know that, man. We all know that. And everybody that was still rocking with him, oh, I like his music. Like I say, man, I don't want to hear anybody that's still supporting him. Really, when he was out here buck dancing for Donald Trump, I don't want to hear anybody out here supporting this guy, okay? I don't want to see you guys I don't hear anybody that was supporting him through that phase of Make America Great phase, okay? I don't hear anybody supporting him tell me about being woke or telling me what's good for the black community or talking about we boycotting this, H&M, or we not doing it. I don't want to hear none of that. Because when he was out here doing what he was doing with Jim Brown, Steve Harvey, when he was out here doing what he was doing with them, you know what I'm saying, Ray Lewis, he was out here getting that bread from Donald Trump, and wasn't nobody saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, them people wasn't saying nothing. You still support him while he's selling our community out. Why you trying to tell us about the slavery amendments and all of this stuff? You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, they done with him. They didn't use him for what they needed to use him for, whatever distraction, whatever thing they was using him for, which he was being used as a distraction while something big was being slid up on our ears and noses, okay? All of a sudden, he want to come and be a culture vulture and pick off our culture again. A culture vulture is somebody that uses a particular culture, in particular hip-hop. Let's just say in this particular, because Kanye's using hip-hop, using the urban community, which is one of the largest consumers in North America, damn near in the world, okay? And he doesn't put back into the culture. He takes from the culture, but he doesn't enrich the culture. He doesn't replant his seeds in the culture. He's not doing what's best for the culture. He's taking, but he's not replenishing the culture. And those are the worst type of people, culture vultures, plenty of them in music. Believe it or not, Drake is a culture vulture. Post Malone is a culture vulture. A lot of these dudes, they use hip hop, they use rap, they use the overall culture, okay? Ride with me. They use it to put themselves on a pedestal and get themselves out of their means, get themselves out their bad situation, get their pocket stuff, but they not really for the culture. They just using it for bigger and better things. And then they don't accredit the culture for getting them where they are in any position. You know, they use rap and hip hop as a front. They become popularity, popular, okay? And then they don't get back to the culture. You know, they don't come back, look out for none of the artists they use or none of the artists that wrote their songs or none of the producers that got them where they need to be. They don't come back. They just take from this hip hop culture and don't replenish. And that's why hip hop and rap is in a situation that it is now. Or at least one of the major reasons why it is now. And Kanye West, he's always been a fake rapper. He's been a great producer. You can't take away from him. That's why his sound sounds different from album to album now these days. Because he was using Travis Scott. He was using Rhyme Fest, who actually beat Eminem in the Rap Olympics. You feel me? He was using all these different writers to write his music because we know he wanted to deal with Rockefeller back in the day. But Rockefeller didn't want to sign him because he could not rap. He sucked at rapping. So what he did is got a whole bunch of ghostwriters around to help him rap, okay? To help him write these songs like Jesus Walks. That wasn't his song. That was Rhymes Fest song. He had the beats. They had the dope lyrics. That's what it was. He's always been a fraud when it comes to rap music. He never wrote his own music. And people can't come to justice with that. The majority of his music was wrote by somebody else, from Rhyme Fest to Travis Scott to whoever it may be. You heard Amber Rose talk about it. All these spots talk about it. People get on Drake and talk about, well, Drake has somebody write for him. Well, Kanye been doing it for years because Kanye didn't have any lyrical skills when he was trying to get signed by Rockefeller. None. He never been a good rapper. He's P. Diddy. He's a glorified P. Diddy. Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him. Sean Combs. And now all of a sudden, he want the culture to take him back after he done sold us out. After he was so woke early in his career. After he was dropping so much knowledge on top of our brains. And then he flips the script on us. And then he gets his bread. He gets his money. Now he wants to come back and exploit us once again and make money off of us. And then when the next power to be called, it snaps his finger and got a Kanye West doggy treat for him and got a couple million, a couple 100,000, whatever he sold himself out for. He wants to come back and tell us how great it is, how he wants to do prison reform, how he wants to make America great again. That's one of the reasons that Jay-Z didn't want to let Meek Mill go to the White House to talk about prison reform with Donald Trump. Jay-Z and all these dudes know Donald Trump is about BS. They know it. And Kanye West, for some reason, it slipped his mind. No, for some reason, he got money put in the back of his pocket. He got paid off to sell himself out, sell our culture out, and try to engage us and bring voters to Donald Trump or bring supporters back to Donald Trump, which was idiotic because I don't think there's anybody fools enough to do that. But he was a distraction. He was a paid distraction. Just as Jim Brown was so woke in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. He was so woke. He was so empowerment for the black cause. And all of a sudden, you see here in 16, 17, 18, however long Trump been in office, he been sitting with Trump with Ray Lewis. You know, they've been sitting next to Trump. They got bought out, man. Everybody got their price. And that's what it seems to be. Jim Brown was one of the most woke brothers back in the day. Not just a great football player, but now he a buck dancer. Money changes everything. You know, it takes strong individuals not to take money, tax-free money, under-the-table money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions and millions of dollars to stay self-righteous and keep it 100. I remember somebody told me one day, everybody got a price. It just depends if you cheaper or you higher. And, you know, certain situations for myself, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't sit here and tell people one thing one day and somebody give me life-changing money and just sell out and just buck dance and just change. You know, maybe you in an effed up situation. Maybe you bankrupt. Maybe you don't have a dime. And you never, and I say this before, you never say what you won't do because you never know your situation that may do that. So I never want to say I never will do that, but I can't envision myself doing what Kanye West did. But you never know what type of pressure Kanye West was up against, what type of debt he was in. He said he was in massive debt, but all of a sudden he wants to create more music according to this tweet. He wants to get back to usual business of making dope music. He wants the black community and hip hop culture to support his dope music once again. And I've been stopped supporting his music since Yeezus was one of the worst rap albums I ever put my ears on. It was horrible as far as major rap albums. I bought rap albums from guys at McDonald's that was better than that. Okay, he only had one good song I liked, and that was Bound. Bound 2, I think it was. But I've been over Kanye for years. I think with 808, A Heartbreak, that's it. Last Kanye West album that I listened to that I actually liked. But at the end of the day, the people still go around here buying his ugly shoes and buying his, whatever, what I'm saying, his ugly clothes, and people still trying to rationalize Kanye. And black people are one of the most forgiving groups of people on the planet. Racial groups on the planet. So the majority of black people will forgive Kanye, forget about it. They still shopping at H&M. I mean, George Zimmerman still walking around here. So at the end of the day, they will forgive Kanye and forget this all happened. And it's some rumors going out there that Kanye may take Big Baller Brand under the Yeezus banner. What he with Adidas now? So that's a little hint. So maybe Big Baller Brand be under the Yeezy banner, and maybe they get better shoes and better design. I didn't think the last Lonzo shoe design was bad, but I seen it ripped over at the bottom. But Goodfellas Sports TV had to do this one time for the one time. Dropped this video, had to go out my way to get into it. Shout out to everybody supporting what we're doing. If you want to make a donation to the page, the link's in the description. Appreciate everybody that do donate. Mr. White, Mr. Lang, Gary Benson, Tu Robinson, Todd Foster, everybody out there that's done in the past. Shout out to you guys. You can find me on Facebook, about to redo the Twitter or activate the Twitter back. I'll put that in the description when the time is right. One time for the one time. Or you can email me or Facebook. We gone.